to face Gen G. And the loser will drop down to the lower bracket. Straight out of the gate, Kobe Mad Lions are making a mad dash to the bottom lane.
And the Professor has a sweeper. Pyke with sweeper start here for Hylissang's 5 members bottom. They're going to make a hard push into the blue quadrant here for T1.
Of course, you can see there Mercedes-Benz featured matchup between these two respective bottom laners, Keria and Hylissang. Hylissang's definitely the man to keep your eye on, because then you combo him with the Annie, with the Kennen, with anything that the Lee Sin is going to do. Obviously, huge impact. And of course, for Mad Lions, if they do get that snowball rolling, they've got that damage, they can burn through everything T1 puts in front of them.
And the difficult thing is, whenever you're running a champion like this, if you're trying to find those roam windows for Hilly, then you kind of have to first get some sort of pressure in bottom lane, you know, some jungle or mid ganks or something down there to be able to give you those timing openings and some time here for Hilly to work his magic. Otherwise, in lane, Guma and Keria will be a scaling.
And that is something that I think T1 is going to look towards when it comes to keeping Healy in lane. And when we look at what Guma and Keria have been able to do domestically, even after the AD carry support kind of ran out of meta, it was their laning prowess, which I think was one of the biggest pressure points that they could rely on, one of their biggest weapons when they did play against Gen G as well. And additionally, I'm looking towards the jungle, because Kha'Zix in particular, if he can get ahead with the amount of setup that he has, is huge.
Oh, Bone Skewer connects. Guma's down. 200 hit points. London is going mad. The shield will keep Guma alive, and Kazi steps back. All right, Ghost and Heal traded for Ghost and Ignites.
100% accuracy so far for Hylissang.
Nice.
1 Q, 1 hit, and it's a massive chunk of damage here onto Guma.
Oh, forcing out the flash. Hylissang's training at Guma is the target. I am keeping my eyes on the minimap. Ono started topside, so will be potentially making his path down. If Hylissang and Kazi stick around, they could be in trouble in a few moments.
This is why Hilly, with the most number of international games of anyone on Mad, they have so much trust in him. He always plays with so much confidence in Guma, because he started Doran's Blade, Aphelios with only 1 potion. You got to go back to base.
And if you'll excuse me for the briefest of moments, Mad Lions against any LCK team have only ever secured 3 wins, they've got 11 losses. Hylissang is an individual player, has got 4 wins and 6 losses, and he's looking to set it up again. Level 3, Alyoya. Ona nowhere nearby. Keria's got the flash, the little zoom, Sonic Wave into the Tempest Cripple, and immediately backing away.
But the win here is still there for Matt. They've been able to zone off Guma. He is still level 1, and thanks to the cannon, he's going to get a little bit of this wave, but the aggressive start from Matter is going to put a T1 bot side on the back foot.
It's quite massive here, and we're going to see a wraparound as well. He steals it!
Alyoya Mad Lions investing a lot of time. So, a little bit not what we're used to seeing from the LEC. Time and presence in the bottom lane. I think when you are playing the Pyke, it makes a lot of sense. Keria just out of range there of that Bone Skewer, and Niski is in trouble. Got caught by the dredge line. Kazi down to 200. He's still got the flash. Hilly's going for a swim, and it's Guma after the back, after the heal. That's now bullying the bot lane as a mad.
Do want to highlight as well, Niski has had prio for basically the entire game up until this point, which also allows Alyoya, combined with the bot lane prio, to play as aggressive as he did up until now. Guma still being zoned off of the wave here.
Yeah, and the reason why you see teams so often do these types of pressure plays on the bottom side of the map is because that extra reduction in champion damage for the first 5 minutes is not there on bottom side. So not only does he have the CS lead, but they got a turret plate as well, working right through that one with 3 people when the Lee Sin came through to zone them off. Now Niski under attack.
He's got the flash available, will be using it, gets the stun below 100. First blood goes to Mad Lions. Another disintegrate connects. Owner's waiting for the cooldowns. He's got the taste of fear. Down to 200. Alyoya goes away. Sonic Wave in. It's a double for the Lions.
The Mad Lions are popping off in London.
And Owner thought that he flashed over the wall, and as a result, he went in for the flash and immediately regretted this decision.
This team, this Mad Lions, that was 8th place in LEC, and everyone was so worried about squeaking into playoffs, are really showing up early here on the international stage.
Channeling a little bit of that energy that the Golden Guardians has as well, defying all expectations. And for Niski, it is his first professional match against Faker. Gets jumped on by Ona, backed up by Alyoya, so this Lee Sin is off to a great start. 2-0. 1,000 gold lead at the 5-minute mark, and as expected, Kennen is continuing to apply pressure in the top lane, but CS numbers are pretty much even across the board. So as we take a look again at this, Chroniclo is such a great call out on assuming the flash went over the wall.
And they don't have vision, right? So the moment that Niski flashes here, Owner, having already used his leap, he thinks that he flashed over the wall. So this play from Niski is what wins them the 2v2 and picks up an early double for Aoya. And in a carry versus carry jungle matchup, particularly when you're Lee, getting an XP league over Kha'Zix and picking up this much early gold is monumental.
Look at Niski on your screen, very excited, very good start to the game. They need to continue this pace. Make sure they can control the likes of Ona, not allow Gumayushi to scale up. So every time I look at the minimap, I see Aoya once again on that front foot. I think forward percentage for Aoya this game is going to be off the charts. If you look at the bottom lane, Flash is not available for Guma. Niski's roaming down, Tibbers is up, and this minion wave is relatively strong. Kobe, I think they're setting up for a dive. They may not even need it. The feathers are available. It's Aoya that snipes it. Now all of a sudden, Ona's going to be the next target. A gigantic minion wave and carrier left alone underneath the power. What tastes purple, Hillisang says. The fourth of the game for the Lions.
This is actually immaculate bot half of the map execution from Mad Lions. Super clean plays from Hillisang to set it up on the bottom side, get them pressure, executing in the duels in mid lane as well. They can transition this now into objectives and start stacking their dragons with the bottom pressure. Owner here is looking to steal it though.
That's Owner hopping forward with that leap. Tipper's being helped out. Depth charge thrown. Dragon is helping out T1. Niski gets the shield, gets the bop on the head from Faker. T1 are on the board, flashing away to safety. Aoya picks up the kill. Now Carrier is left for dead. He flashes over. Aoya is going to look for the Q. It's on cooldown for now. Carrier escapes. 1-for-1, the Dragon resets.
So T1, they do make the sacrifice and get the 1-for-1 just to stop that Dragon. Now the timing window has passed here since Guma's back in lane. T1's bottom lane is pushing, so you have to reset yourselves as Mad Lions. So T1, they're doing some damage control right now to make sure the kills in the early gold lead doesn't spill over into objectives.
T1 trying to at least get something back here, making use of the window that was prevented by Owner and Faker to get themselves a blade here. And if we do look at the golds, 500 gold deficit right now for Guma, but given the amount of waves that have already been denied to him by Mad Lions, now the end of the world with this ganks works as well.
Find out it's a level 6 on Aoya. No flash available and Gumia has been jumped on. Will be donated to Kazi. 100% kill participation for Aoya. And as we said, this game coming in, Mad Lions needed to strike early, and they are doing just that.
He's Gold Drinker.
Yes,
we're 8 minutes in.
8 minutes. Unbelievable sub 3,000 gold lead. Yeah. We saw the Kennen being locked in first, and immediately went, maybe this Kennen's... We haven't even seen the top lane. They don't exist, Kobe.
I love it because there are two philosophies with how you want to attack a strong opponent. Do you want to actually play to your strength and go to the top side that you've done for so much of the LEC? We're going to see the Rift Herald fight, though. Niski ult.
Faker, no flash available. He just gets run down. Another kill secured. I mean, look, the fans here in London are flabbergasted.
And T1 is just scrambling, right? They're so used to being ahead in the early game and having tempo advantage no matter where they go, having the setup advantage. But right now, that's just not the case.
All right, 3 members of T1 in the top lane. Chasey, he's got his flash, he's got his ulti. Here goes Carrier, here goes Guma. Well, that's going on. Tower Place just completely conceded in the middle lane. With Faker's death and no teleports, that's 1-2 plate secured already. A third might also fall.
Yeah, so if we calm down a little bit right now.
I don't want to.
With all of the hype, T1, this is again some more damage control. Here we go, Hilly though.
Owner has found Hilly and just destroys him. Absolutely destroys him. Solo kill there, and that is crucial. Slows down their push, buys some time for other plates in the top lane.
And you have to recognize how smart the damage control from T1 is because they have to get out of that losing situation, so they make the early swap to top side while they've got Aphelios with the white gun here try and move away from the power and the snowball of Mad Lions and get some turret plates and get some gold back in their favor to try and stabilize a little bit. That also allows Owner to get this pick onto Hilly because they know Hilly just flashed on bottom side trying to get his stun onto Guma. And no flash on Pike means nice kill for Kha'Zix.
And if Owner doesn't get that kill, and I think Mad Lions are able to get this mid lane turret and really take full control of the map. Now T1, it's standing for now. I don't know how long Faker by himself can hold on to this. It's going to be a really tough one. 4k gold deficit here in 10 minutes.
Chronicler, a stiff breeze is going to knock over that mid turret. It's
Maybe
so
look at it
low on
angrily.
him, but that's what the plan is. Well, that's happening as well. The bottom tower is also under siege. So as you mentioned, Chronicler, 4k gold lead. Mad Lions this time will be met with resistance in the bottom lane. Teleport is available for Faker as a potential dive was set up. It's going to end up fizzling. And Niski's now returning back to the middle lane. By the way, Dragon is still standing, so that's that first Drake of the game. It's been heavily delayed. Will not be one of those win conditions. Bone Skewer, sidestep, and Faker will get pulled backwards. He throws out the mine. The Tibbers is dropped. Faker's burning. Dredge lighting. Death from below as Mad Lions get another.
If you don't love Hilly at his int, then you don't deserve Hilly at his kills here. Massive stuff from him. Bottom lane plays over and over and over. And that was our big question at the beginning out of Champ Select. He has been mid lane over and over here. He's making a big difference in the Faker matchup too. Getting some extra kills for Nest quick. They get the tower as well. I mean, Mad Lions, they've had some very intelligent plays as well as a lot of extremely well executed plays here versus T1. And that's what you have to keep up.
And what I love from Mad is how incredibly aggressive they are continuously playing. Because as you were saying, Cobri, T1, we're attempting damage control.
Oh, damage control here. Time to go all out and for strikes. Slicing Maelstrom. Chases below 200. The tower will not help. Zeus with the solo kill.
Important moment here. Getting that Cassante Fat means that maybe that front line can buy some time for the rest of T1 to keep it going.
Chronicler sounds a little bit like Hopium as far as I'm concerned. One kill and even CS. It is still a 5,000 gold deficit. This is a phenomenal lead for the Mad Lions. They also picked up the first tower fairly early on in the game. The average throughout MSI to this point is around 14 minutes. They're 3.5 ahead of that curve.
Yeah, what I was saying before Zayas rudely interrupted me with that solo kill is that what I really love from Mad is that they're not really giving T1 a big window to recuperate. It's dive, it started level 1, then it's the flash immediately afterwards, then it's dive, after mid play, and T1 are clearly scrambling.
And then Zeus here with the Q3, able to get it, dashes back in. Needs to build up some hope here for T1. You talked about it, touched about it in Champ Select. It's all going to eventually come back to Gumayushi and this Aphelios possible carry for T1. That's why, you know, Mad Lions for this whole game have been attacking that bottom line, trying to deny him as much money as possible.
I mean, hopefully just before the next engage happens, Bone Skewer's out. That will catch, and that's a route there onto Hilly. I do want to highlight 3 mythics already for Elyoya, for Niski, for Kazi. As all of a sudden T1, they smell it. They see what's happening, so they're backing away. No slicing Maelstrom for Chasey. Not many minions to work with for T1. Using that lightning rush away. Gets the stun. Towers onto Zeus, though. Owner's going a little bit low. Another stun connects. The tower, not enough. One last shot does it. It ends up being a 1-for-1 trade, but the tower also goes to Mad. So net positive so far. Can T1 do damage in the mid lane?
Yeah, quite good here for T1 to get a turret plate in mid lane. Plus, they're going to be able to have Kha'Zix push on the top side. They delay a long time in actually getting turret aggro here. They were waiting for Kennan's E to actually run out, but that meant Zeus had to take so many tower shots. He does go down. Still, really big comeback play here for T1. They've got a lot of work to do, though, I have to say, with how big Mad Lions early game
look
was.
at that gold difference on the bottom of your screen. What's that? Plus 2k just in the jungle. 1-5 in the mid lane. 1-3 in the bottom lane.
It's getting bigger.
That's going to get even bigger. Hylissang and Kazi, as well as the rest of the Mad Lions, have not let up the pace. And Chronicler, I think you really accentuated it. T1 just don't have a chance to breathe. They don't have time to create their own opportunities.
And this is not a situation that T1 finds themselves in very often. Gen G is a team that's notable for, yeah, maybe they go behind, but their macro around the map, their team fighting, always allows them to have an opportunity, even disregarding team compositions here with how far Guma has been put behind and looking at the team fighting power that you have with Annie, with Zaya, with Cannon, who are all fed and have a fed Pyke. It's not something that T1 generally is known for.
Plus, T1 are going to lose all of their outer defenses so early in this game. Last outer tower right now being taken by Karzi. Not only is that a bunch of extra money into the Mad Lions carry here, but...
Well, Chasey, feeding here for Mad Lions. The only member that's only marginally ahead gets a lot of damage onto Owner. Wild growth, not necessarily needed, but all of a sudden, there's another setup. Faker gets the dredge line. There's not enough support coming from the rest of the squad. I mean, all 3 outer towers down before the average of the first tower here at MSI. Death from below is available. Depth charge thrown out once again, using that hook to pull to safety. This is a 2 versus 4 flash forward. Hilly is going to need to dive, getting away for now. Down to 200 hit points, and Guma Gale forces forward. He gets the kill. Here comes Cardi. The feathers, they fly. That's 1, that's 2. And Mad Lions push T1 back.
Mad Lion strike it back. Yeah, Guma does the flash Gale Force for the execute, but that means he's face first into Karzi, who collects another one fresh off of his recall from the top side of the map, and they're going to have another dragon problem to deal with pretty soon.
And I think it's fair to say that's kind of like chasing the loss. T1 are in such a difficult situation. Any gold is good, but unfortunately they overstep just enough for Mad Lions to punish.
And Zeus might be in trouble here as well.
Let's find out. Here we go. That's a great ward hop into the kick, landing absolutely everything. And I mean, Zeus, just in a 2v1, what can you do? Surviving a lot longer than I was anticipating. And that is a tiny bit of hope. But the thing is, it is still gigantic deficit. Even if Zeus can stay alive in team fights, the rest of the squad are going to melt so quickly.
Okay, so here we see the replay where Owner did use his flash to get the kill onto Chasey. But then the chase is really, really strong from T1. They feel so desperate right now because they are this far behind. So they're trying to create those crazy comeback plays. Hylissang kind of senses that it's coming though, and he kites them back pretty far. A lot of flashes being blown here. Look at these. There's only a flash for Zeus now for T1.
Gonna make it very hard. T1, are they actually going to contest this Drake?
I don't think they should.
I don't think they should, Trevor.
What is the other plan? Kobe, here we go.
They definitely should not, because there's teleport already on Chasey, and he uses it now.
All right, 3,000 hit points, 2,500, 1,500. It's secured by T1. Zeus is the immediate target. That's all of a sudden the Moonlight Vigil fight. T1 have belted through the hit points for now. They've stood toe to toe. Owner is forced away. Chasey finds him. Slicing Maelstrom, but it's at the cost of Nesquik's life. 4 members of T1 going backward. They get the hook onto the little hamster and the death charge onto Causey. How the hell are T1 doing it? They managed to win the fight. Down 7,000 gold. Alyoya's running for his life because he's trying to find time, trying to fire the feathers. He's rooted up Faker. He needs one more, but he simply can't do it. Guma's the next target. Feather storm out. Kazi wants to close it out with the help of Alyoya. Somehow, Mad Lions bring it back from the jaws of teamfight defeat, only for T1 to shut them right down. This fight has gone on so long that Niski's been able to respawn and teleport back in. All of a sudden, Niski, can he catch Faker? Looking for the Incinerate, the Disintegrate, but Faker's too. Tonki turns it around again. Zeus the next target. Depth charge again. Faker finally down. Niski running for his life, but it's T1. It's T1.
This is madness! All the shutdowns here going over. T1 are trying to make it scrappy to get them back. They got an objective bounty shutdown on the Dragon, and they got the 2 big bounties, Elyoya's and Karzi's, in the end of it. So even though Mad Lions do chase down and get a bunch of kills onto T1, the more scrappy like this, the better for the possible comeback. My goodness, that just got crazy.
Even then, I've seen a lot of T1 Baron setups, okay, where I'm like, oh, T1, I don't know if you want to do that. I've never seen them contest the Dragon while being this far down and somehow kind of making it work. Like, Mad is still very, very far ahead, but T1, at the very least, are fighting back.
Come on, Mad Lions into that fight. Let's not kid ourselves here a little bit. With a bit of luck, we can actually watch this replay. I mean, Kobe, how did it go so wrong for Mad Lions?
All right, so initially, T1 is going to win the Smite fight here. Q plus Smite on Kha'Zix, really big burst damage, so he easily gets that. And then it's the big chase here. Elyoya in onto Zeus, but he dashes away, as well as the Polymorph following it up. Chasey goes in, he finishes off the Kha'Zix, then he's in the pit, and Faker hits him with the hook. Chasey walked up to try and get a Q for harass, but Faker getting that hook onto him on the front lines opens up Guma carry, and then he Gale Forces up to still have the extra damage and the angle onto Hylissang to get himself the extra kill. That's where the big problem actually emerged. Mad Lions, though, they still have such a
Oh, but at what cost? That's Niski being caught out. He's taken down. The Moonlight Vigil as well. T1 have found another fantastic pick.
That's the second time in a row, and I think in the previous fight, we saw Mad in a straight-up 5v5 front-to-back without a flank, maybe for Chasey. T1 was able to match. Here, T1 is using the amount of CC that they have available to pick up individual targets and not giving Mad a time to respond.
We need another play-by-play. 31 kills in 19 minutes. And T1, that goal deficit I still feel like it should matter. I just don't think that it does.
I love it. I love it. We were talking about it earlier before this series, but if T1 get behind like this, they're going to try and fight their way out. They are not going to try and minimize damage here. They're trying to fight their way out of it. It's up to Mad Lions here to get back on track.
I am no longer believing in the concept of gold advantage in this game.
Yes.
I don't know what happens. I think as mentioned, the big thing for me is that Mad does still have a really big map control advantage with the amount of objectives that they have.
And I think what's very crucial as well, we have to keep our eyes on those flashes. Had Chasey had flashed in that Dragon fight, he could have got that slicing Maelstrom deeper into T1's team. Unfortunately, he didn't, so therefore it didn't have that same impact. Mad Lions are still up significantly. 4 towers to 0. That 5,000 gold we talked about, we're a minute away from the next Dragon, but we're not playing for Soul just yet. It'll still be many minutes before that's impactful.
So here's what has to happen for Mad Lions. They have all of the playmaking flashes available. Chasey flash, Niski flash, Hylissang flash, all ready, and they have to be able to get Guma with one of those. If one of those players can make the big play with the Annie stun, with the Kennen stun, with the Hylissang hook onto Gumayusi, then they'll get right back on track. They can win the team fight. They have to kill that Aphelios, though.
It's my turn to have some Hopium, so we have 3 players, and they have to just get 1.
Hopium?
That is what
You're
Mad
5k gold up!
Also, Elyoya's going to have his flash soon, so you'll be able to add in the
T1 hasn't taken a turret!
Yeah, but Chronicler T1 has taken multiple fights in a row. I will not get excited yet. Mad Lions, the pace is now slowed down. Because of the fact they have to push to those inner turrets, it becomes significantly riskier, as we just saw in that red buff engage, for the Mad Lions to press this lead further. Look at the bottom lane, teleports up for Chasey. He's pushing towards the inner turret, he's got some wards to play with as well.
He's recalling here for a purchase to come in. What's he sitting on? What's he sitting on? He's got the teleport just back to the turret. Okay, so it's not going to be a deep teleport flank or anything here for Mad Lions, just the reset.
And with the value that the Hextech Soul provides, the early play that T1 found, where they were able to deny that one dragon and delay that for, I think it was about 5 minutes, actually ends up being huge. Yes, the previous dragon fight was...
Yeah, I think
that might have played a small part as well, Kobe.
I think the big one is the one that they just started 7,000 gold down in your face and then took and got the objective bounty.
Hey, those first 5 minutes matter, okay?
Oh, gentlemen, this is such a great start to the series. Infinity Edge was just picked up the field. Guma, 2 items completed. Kazi's making his way there. The Baron has been started. The teleport's being channeled. Here comes Zeus from below. Baron rather, not going particularly quickly, as 5 members of T1 now stepping into the river.
Okay, remember all those flashes we listed for Mad Lions. Oh my god, they're just in a
2,000! It's 2,000! It's stolen! It's stolen! Elyoya misses the smite! All of a sudden for the fight! Annie is caught once more! Goes Golden in so much trouble, but Faker is the target! It's a 1 for 2, and Guma is untouched! Finally gets the kill back onto another, but it's Zeus and it's T1 that are cleaning everything up! Elyoya's got another 3 for 3, but they got the Baron as well. Hylissang's got that death from below, but nobody's in execution range. T1 steal Baron!
Oh my goodness, I could not believe they actually just flipped that there against the Kazakhs. And Owner can get in there, no problem. The Q plus smite again.
I don't know, why would you flip this? Start the fight! We kept talking about the flashes. You have a cannon, you have an Annie, you have a pike. Pick someone and murder them.
This is something where maybe Mad Lions a little bit in their own head, a little bit excited. I mean, jumping in, 700 and just straight up stolen, Kobe.
Nice stuff there from Owner. And then looking at the follow-up on the fight here, Zeus is able to kite it out again for Faker's hook. Faker hooks Niski basically 100% to 0, even with the stopwatch there. It was all Niski in the early game here. Big diff over Faker. He had the big brain duel where he flashes into the brush there. But since then, it has been team fight initiations from the Nautilus. These hooks that keep landing. And T1, they are marching right back into this game.
And if Karzi doesn't get that play, doesn't get the kill on Guma, like that fight is a complete wash.
Yep.
And T1 can pick up so many more Barons now, only 2 Baron buffs still on them.
That's a good call out because yes, they got the injection of gold, but in terms of pushing power, it is somewhat limited. That Bloodthirster was secured there, as all of a sudden Zeus in trouble, pulled backwards, goes back out, Tibbers dropped. Niski forced a flash. This Annie is not having a significant impact. Dredgeline will take Faker to the tower. It's still standing. Baron empowered minion chipping away slowly. T1 had still yet to secure a tower. They will get the dredge line. Hellsang buys time with that stopwatch and now forced to run, but the tower is still the focus. And Mad Lions, they cannot stop this pressure.
Yeah, hugely successful initiations from T1 again. They were able to chunk down Niski, force him back, as well as get the sideways ultimate out of Karzi. That Xayah not nearly as safe as previously, and that allows T1, even without getting kills, to get 2 turrets with this Baron.
Chronicler, a little bit earlier when I said to you, I will not get excited. That is why the goal difference this game is frankly meaningless.
Well, what about me, Trevor? I was excited. That early game was exciting AF. Mad Lions, I want to see them pull it back.
And here we are, and the gold lead at this point is negligible,
Yes,
right? Like 3K when Guma has an Infinity Edge, is coming up on a third item. In the grand scheme of things, isn't really going to matter. It's all about how the teamfight execution is going to come down.
And if you're an LEC fan, you should be a little bit nervous because the teamfight execution has been T1 favored. What I will say, though, is throughout the course of this game, the first 15 minutes, dominated by Mad Lions, making proactive plays and landing them.
Yeah.
Then T1 was setting up their own fights, and they were landing them. So we haven't yet seen Mad Lions really execute a good team fight where they haven't been jumped on, they haven't been somewhat surprised, and it looks like they're setting up for this inner top turret.
Yeah, they need to be the ones doing the jumping, Trevor. Those many forms of initiation here. Let's see. Siege on top side, though. They've got all 5 members. They should be able to bully this one down.
Yeah, very quickly, in fact. Pouring through all 5 members. Flash is not available for anyone except Hellsang. This Hextech Gate's going to bring members of T1 forward, and we're 40 seconds from the next dragon spawning. It'll be the 3rd for Mad Lions, the 2nd for T1. And I do want to reiterate just how valuable a Hextech Soul could be for the entirety of Mad Lions. Zeus, he's going to teleport to the bottom lane. Remember, because Dragon is the objective, push that mid lane, push that bottom lane, push the Vision into Mad Lions territory, and T1 inside the river first.
And right now T1 gets the ability to set up Vision, and that was, to me, one of the biggest problems that Mad had in the first fight. With how far ahead they were, with how much control they have ahead of the map, you should be able to choke out Vision and set up flanks.
I mean, that Umbral Grave from Ona has done so much value. It was the first item he picked up. Faker once again finds the initiation, and Guma just melts Mad Lions. That Moonlight Vigil depth charge was beautiful.
Once again, Faker hits a hook, and Niski is dead. His body hits the floor as Guma initially goes in, and that means your Dragon, unless Hilly...
No, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, right now, Niski is screaming, have you seen my bet tippers? Because I haven't. You've been dead so many times in these team fights, has not had that impact. T1 will secure their 3rd tower, their 2nd Dragon. That gold lead means nothing, and all of the momentum has shifted to the LCK 2nd seeds.
And now all of a sudden, if you look at the Mad comp and you're not able to play out the front to back, if Hellsang can't get a hook, if Chasey can't get into the backline right from the get-go, and even then, as we saw in the Baron fight, Zeus has done a great job of keeping him out of fights. If Niski can't find or doesn't go for a flash engage, this is just going to keep playing out the way the last, 5 team fights have gone.
Yeah, Guma is able to finish his Lord Doms after that, so he is going to just blow anyone up who any T1 member
already
catches.
is.
Yeah, you thought it was quick before.
And I think it's also important to note, there is no real front line here for Mad Lions. You know, there's no real tank. So even though they've got a lot of damage themselves, look at that from Ona. He leaps forward, does Taste of Fear, and Hilly loses, 70% of his hit points? Now, I will say, I've been a bit of a downer on Mad Lions for the last 10 minutes of play, which is fair. However, they do still have all of those tools. They now have their flashes available. So for the Mad Lions, while it is looking dire, we are still on an even footing, and if they can finally win a team fight, they can regain some semblance of control.
Yeah, they'd have to be the ones using their CC to actually create these openings, though, because as you mentioned, they've got no tank, no front line. They don't want to soak any damage, so you have to create your openings then with the large amount of CC that you do have.
And what's important as well is that T1 is also not giving Mad an opportunity, because ever since they've had the opportunity, ever since that one Dragon fight, T1 has basically just been grouped as 5. Like, they have not split apart at all.
Yeah, look at the formation. They will protect Guma Yushi with anyone else's life. Everybody protect the president here. As long as Guma is standing, T1 hopes are real.
I mean, that is exactly how this comp's supposed to play out, right? And if everyone's focusing on Guma, there is a possibility for Ona to jump around. You know, he's got 4 kills, 2 deaths, 7 assists. He's been able to apply enough threat on that back line, closing things off. But look at this tense standoff. Baron is up. We're 3 minutes away from the next Dragon. It'll only be the 3rd for both respective teams. But we are also at this point of the game where if a strong team fight can be won, close enough to push towards the base, push towards those inhibitors. T1, they set their sights on the Baron. Look at that damage! Oh my word, Kazi melting Zeus. But the dredge line connects, the Dragon's Rage has been used. Bone, skewer, flash, Guma, there's no one to jump back on him. And Hilly's the man that's targeted down. Faker gets another. Niski uses the Hourglass just to buy some time. But Guma's done it once again. JC with a slicing maelstrom gets at least a kill back. But Mad Lions are ace.
And T1 are going to get the Baron after that one. Mad Lions, they got their initial pick and they just saw the win in their eyes. They tried too hard, too far on the chase. You mentioned it. Hilly does get the pull, but nobody's there for the follow-up here. This pick, you need to be calm after this pick and go for the reset here. Take a look. Elyoya moves up. He counters Faker's hook with the kick initially. And then the distance is just too large here. Hilly does get his flash hook, but Karzi is clearing the ward, and then they get the follow-up.
And crucially, even though here a lot of damage is going to the front line, look at Guma. No one is touching him, and as we said, you got to protect the president. If he's alive and well, you're in trouble.
And if he and Keria get to flash forward in the team fight, it is saved a little bit there, as Chasey at least gets some money. They get the shutdown kill at the end, but it is going to cost them another Baron here. And that's 2 Barons now for T1 in a game that they were so heavily down. They've actually retaken the gold lead. They've evened up the Dragons, and they're going to finally get the last of the outer towers.
Beautiful. The second Red Bull Baron power play being set up. Thank Mr. Guma. That damage is crazy. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first time in 31 minutes that T1 are leading the game in gold. They are now the team with a 2,000 gold lead. They've got Baron on multiple members. It's T1 stepping forward. And Faker's Nautilus combined with Guma's Aphelios are so huge this game. The Magi's Soul Stealer picked up for Faker as well. He's already got sickening damage and will continue to build that up. A number of pings there on that mid inhibitor turret to Mad Lions. They're trying to find that initiation.
Yeah, Matt can't go for the Dragon here because T1 will just push them out.
Oh, waiting for this initiation there. Elyoya is looking for the flank. Chases in the front line. Flash available to him, level 15. Slicing Maelstrom is up 2. Engage comes out. Bone Skewer backwards. Guma and the rest of T1 stepping onto the river. We got this defensive flank, Kobe. No one's pulled the trigger just yet. Faker not going to find the dredge line this time.
Elyoya's looking for an angle to get behind on Guma. They can't get it, so they pull Faker.
Not the man that you wanted. Dredge line will connect. Kazi's pushed backwards. Night Vigil gets him. He had Flash. He had Ghost. He had Featherstorm. And none of it absolutely mattered. T1 dominate once more.
Faker hits those. Faker hits those. The Nautilus with the Evan Shroud damage amp, and Guma finishes that kill. No problem. Dragon picked up. T1 coming for your base.
JC using that flash defensively just to get away from that Q3. Running for his life. No slicing Maelstrom. The base still available. Baron's still up. Chronicler, T1 have pulled this game back from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted. I've seen T1 win a lot of games in a lot of ways, but this is incredible. It's the fact that they go this all in on Guma a year after he had a pretty lackluster MSI.
Oh man, and you know what? Between then and now, things could not look different. Nexus turret number 1 has fallen. Nexus turret number 2 has fallen. 49, 50 kills in 30.
Ultimate combos there, so should be more easily reacted to by Guma.
Well, we're gonna find out as we load onto the Rift. If I can take a very brief moment to celebrate something, assuming no action breaks out. Faker, Playmaker. God King himself has reached his 200th international game. And right now, he's looking to make it 2-0 against the Mad Lions. And as I say that, the gift is given that owner concedes first blood to Mad. That's not my fault.
The crash down is not telegraphed if you're in a bush and they walk up to your
Nice. Yeah.
Surprise, a horse falls out of the sky onto your head, and they give the first blood money over to Karzi because they have this luxury. Oh no, actually
No,
the ignite.
yeah, it went to
no, the ignite tick.
Yes.
Oh, they tried to give it over to him. Okay, ignite tick does its work.
And it kind of ties into what we saw in the previous early game. I think T1 really need to start taking less early game risks and just running around like the map belongs to them, because Mad are clearly saying, we do not stand for that.
Well, we do not stand for that. Mad Lions getting a bit of deja vu. Starting the game off with an early kill onto T1. This time it was in the jungle instead of the bottom lane. Give you a quick update, by the way. 50 kills in that previous game. It's the highest number of kills at MSI this year, obviously. It is also the 5th bloodiest game of any MSI ever. That is how action-packed it was. And it started off strong. Guma and Carrier were stepping the trade a little bit. And you can see Alyoya, he spotted on that ward.
Only 5th, Trevor?
Only
we can
5th.
do better. We can do
yes,
better.
Come on. Let's make the next 5 games 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in terms of bloodiness. And that seems to be the case for now. Once again, by the way, Owner starting top half of the map, Alyoya clearing out the Krugs on the bottom.
This time around, though, T1 is very aware. Did spot Alyoya on the ward. So should be completely fine here. It looks like Alyoya also realizing that, heading towards the Raptors.
Yeah, T1 very clearly that whole time thinking about these adjustments all around bottom lane early, because that was the whole story for Mad Lions. So not only do they ban the Pyke, they also deep ward the Krugs, they also have them get the chunk on bottom side. They didn't necessarily plan for the first blood, but...
No one plans to concede first blood, to be fair. I will say, by the way, if you keep an eye on the minimap, because we've got the Karma top into the cannon, it might be a lane that we want to keep an eye on just a little bit more. Thank you, observers, for that one. Also, because for Chasey, I think expectations here, especially for European fans here in London watching, that was Chasey's first defeat on cannon in his career. It was his 9th game played. This is now his 10th. Playing into the Karma, this is not something that we see a huge hell of a lot in the LEC, and we already see being bullied, being pushed forward those mantra queues.
Tell you what, we also haven't seen a whole lot of it in the LCK for a really long time, right? And Zeus is a player that has struggled at times in high pressure situations, and this is now previously the Xante game, and in this one, he is going full support.
For this man that was just on your screen a second ago there, Guma, as they're pushing in, they're having much better lane phase this time around, obviously with all of the adjustments, getting up to the tower pressure in their favor actually, and Owner, since he started on that top side with the Maokai, easy, leisurely clear towards the bottom side, splits the Scuttle Crabs exactly how they want with Mad Lions, and Alyoya does get this one. Faker's going to be the target, but both junglers are here.
All right, 2v2, glacial path forward, Ring of Frost rather, onto the little kitty cat. Pressure on the bottom lane, Kazi's under threat, forced to flash for his life, and the flamethrower just out of range. Faker, tick, tick, tick. The shield's healing him for alive for now. No flash for Niski. The sapling toss will go forward. That's the flash, Bramble toss smash. Owner gets one back, and now Niski's in a little bit of trouble. Starting to back ways, low on Mad. It does not want that fight.
And this is the other part of the puzzle last game for Mad. It wasn't just that bot lane was winning, it was that the mid lane 2v2 went extremely heavily in favor of Mad. This time around, T1 is able to get out ahead.
And bear in mind, that was Hillison that had first blood, still getting beaten up in that 2v2. T1 500 gold up, bottom lane winning, gank mid lane successful, and Zeus in the top lane, keeping Chasey under the tower.
Yeah, the only hiccup there for T1, I think Carrier healed when he thought he had Ignite or something as Karzi was flashing away. Regardless, it's still a big, good trade for them. And the CS difference is going to be massive, plus the recall timings here. Boots level 2, Berserker Greave rush for Guma, but mid lane dive, Hilly's here!
Ferromancy, crash down, ticking, it's Alyoya with the kill. Hillison will get taken down though. And it's secured by Faker. Now Alyoya the target. Guma is ticking away. He's got the purple gun, got the root down, and got the backup of T1. Another kill to Guma.
Yeah, the timing of that dive and the extra turret shot there. Guma's walking back from base off his reset with his upgraded Berserker Greaves and gets to be handed an extra kill. That is exactly what Mad Lions do not want. It's money traded here for, you know, a kill over to jungle in exchange for a kill onto the Aphelios is going to be rough.
And here, crucially, in that early 2v2, right, we do see that Niski's able to bring Owner with him, which means that Faker in the 1v1s against Alyoya doesn't really have a large shot, but Faker stays alive.
It was really good use of his Aftershock there. Faker, he tanks fully the Lee Sin, then as soon as the Aftershock falls off, he flashes out and jumps to the top side. Faker fully tanked up to like 10% of his life right there.
Well, Faker's gonna not be able to do that just yet. Glacial Path this time round, ticking, he gets away! Alyoya and Niski, they fumble it, they don't get that last hit.
And that is the second mid lane gang that isn't working out. And the previous one, what I wanted to highlight in that replay as well before we went back to live, Owner being there, to me, is a sign that T1 is also catching on to what Mad did so well in game number 1, which was snowball, 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 continuous aggression. Anyone with a low health bar around the turret is going to get taken down. And Owner, even though he was a little bit behind the play, you see T1 was still expecting it.
And T1 right now got that lead. Crucially, 15 CS plus a kill to Guma in the bottom lane. And that's Protect the President comp, Raise the Puppy, whatever you want to call it. Guma has started off incredibly well. Already got a plate. Nearly securing a second plate. Hilly trying to threaten with that Hex Flash. And look, red, white, Guma wants to fight. There's backup as well, because look, 2 members of T1 in the river, they're going to get an early dragon.
Yeah, overall, gold leads are talked about a lot in League of Legends, but concentration of gold is incredibly important, and especially when you have a comp like this that is so hyper-focused in one direction. Owner going to be able to pick up the dragon also. Wards here protecting both entrances. They easily pick that one up off of the bottom lane push.
And Chronicler, I get nervous when I look at Mad Lions this game because already they're behind in dragons and gold and kills. And then I think about how on earth does Kennen and Lissandra and Rel get through Karma, Maokai, Cassante. And even if they do, there's a Lulu Wild Growth as backup. So there is so much zoning tools and control to buy time for Guma to melt through Mad Lions.
And in the last game, they didn't need that,
No,
right?
they
didn't
didn't.
need Guma to be fed. They didn't need any of the frontliners to be in a great spot. And I think that Mad, unfortunately, if they fall too far behind in the early game, they're not going to be able to. We saw in the previous game that the amount of leads that they were able to generate should have been, wasn't really working out, but should have been turned into a really big level of map control. Niski.
Well, Niski still got that E if he needs it, still got the flash as well. Will be able to get over the wall. Takes a little bit more of a trade, but yeah, again, Owner just kind of shadowing this middle lane, always around whenever any threat is up. Cheeky recall, gonna get spotted. Got the ultimate available. Why are you recalling there? Why are you in the bush? Niski gets taken down for a, in my opinion, unforgivable recall occasion.
This is honestly devastating for Mad Lions. Not only does that give over full pressure for this Rift Herald, but bottom side, you then leave Guma alone. He was pushing Karzi into his own tower there. They send the Rel back bottom side, and they're still making the play top.
Looking for the initiation. Chasey's got the Maelstrom. Manages to get Zeus. He flashes over the wall. Chased by Chasey. Zeus still stays alive. Look at those fancy feet. Chasey's on the route. Not going to be able to find the kill just yet. Zeus still under the tower. Well, that's going on. 2v2 in the bottom lane. Gumayushi, he's got himself that quiver. Looking for the crash down. Hilly turns his attention back to Kiri. Gets turned into a munchkin. Finally, Zeus is down. The feathers are pulled backwards, and the Moonlight Vigil is dodged by the Feather Storm. There's no E available. Flash away from Guma and T1. They've got the first of the fight. Guma's looking for the next. He comes back up. The cleanse keeps the chase alive. Kazi and Hilly got so close, but damn, they were so far. Now Niski's in trouble. Faker's running him down. Goes all out under the tower. The third proc in the queue. Flashed away from underneath the tower and flashed 1-for-1 in the mid lane. And somehow Kazi escapes.
Oh my goodness, it's blood all over the map, Trevor. Well done casting all 3 lanes at once. Bottom side, Keria does get back down to Guma and allow him to get not only another kill, but you just saw on your screen that huge minion wave that is going to die in front of the tower. Hillisang is going to be the one that gets there first, and money into Hillisang. Again, concentration of where your gold is going, not ideal here for Mad Lions. Oh, Hilly with the flop on the large corner.
And by Guma effectively here is 1v2, and by the time he starts this play, he starts banging in. Keria is still like halfway in the river, but once they're committed, they're just unable to get the damage down right. And I think in these all-ins, Thalios is so difficult to deal with, particularly if you don't have the CC from the Rel available.
Yeah, he flashes this one here. So Guma Flash and Cleanse were both used. If there is one, ray of hope or copium for Mad Lions, it is now.
Injecting into me, Kobe.
It is that there.
Copium.
There are no sums on Guma, so they called down Owner and said the third and fourth summoner spell with Faker coming down to try and protect.
Listen, 2,000 gold is the lead. I would like to ask the observers to quickly toggle over to the individual player golds when they get a chance. Nature's Gasp is thrown out. That 2,000 gold, 1,500 of that lead is with Guma. Kazi gets pushed all the way backwards from a beautiful engage from Owner, and that is 3 more kills to T1. It was just beautiful.
And the tower.
And they've got the Herald from way back, right? When Zeus was able to stay alive, the rest of the team was like, good luck. You try and stay alive as long as you can. We know you're going to go down, but we're going to get the Herald. They didn't even need the Herald here. They could have left it in their pocket because the 3v3 goes disastrously wrong. And when you have a composition like this, and the Aphelios is this fed with, as you were pointing out, Trevor, this much frontline, and 2 enchanters,
4 kills, an assist, as well as a 30 CS lead. Mythic completed already, and a Maokai that's at 3-1-3. My word, T1 have got all the tools they need to just let Guma once again bow down and destroy the Mad Lions.
Niski just ulted Faker to get 1 extra tower shot worth of damage on the Cassante mid and gave him the hats off. But here's what we were saying, there's no summoner spells on Guma. That's why, Mad Lions have that, the Hopium or Copium, whatever you want to call it, of trying to make a play on him. But with the Maokai there to peel for him, the peeling is too easy for T1. Owner and Carrier keep him safe, and he takes him down.
There was a lady in the crowd earlier that said she's waited 10 years to see Faker pick LeBlanc for me. I hope Cassante will do it quite as flashy. To everyone else that's come here to Copperbox in London, thank you for joining us. Right now, T1 are in a significant advantage. 2-level lead here for Zeus over Hilly. The tower is under a little bit of pressure in a 1v2, but there is pretty significant wave flow once those minions do group up. Hilly steps in, look at the minimap, and again, congregation of T1 around that middle lane and Niski.
It's also Abyssal Mask karma, right? Like in the previous game, we saw it on Faker. He, on the Nautilus, got a lot of value of it. And even though the Catalyst was nerfed on this patch, we still see the value of it, particularly when you're a pick like the Karma that loves staying in lane for a long time, keeping your opponent under pressure. And it also means in situations like this, you're not going to be able to dive in.
Yeah, I mean, the Abyssal Mass and the Evan Shroud last time too, they're getting these little things to amp all the other little sources of damage.
Little source of damage?
Yeah.
Who might you be referring to, Kobe?
Kobe, let's talk a little bit about how Mad Lions do find their way back into this game. They've lost a tower, they're significantly behind. We already know it's going to be hard for them on the offensive to get to Guma. But how on earth do they claw this back?
See, that's the thing, though. That's the thing that was missing in the last game. Mad Lions, they stalled out, and they should have been setting up those more aggressive plays with the flashes and big playmakers that they do have on the team. This time around, Niski's on the Lissandra to boot, so they've got even more to go for those really big setups. If Chasey has flash and Niski spellbooks over to his flash, like that should be a guaranteed engage dive onto them. Especially with Rel follow-up here, that CC will last a very long time. Problem is you're so far behind so early on, the protection is really difficult to get through. And even the setup of the Vision, which is your first setup to try and get those angles.
Well, Faker's going to start a fight here. Teleports it in. Down a level, Hilly stepping forward. Not a lot of support here from T1. The interrupt on the crash down allows Faker to escape. That was just beautifully executed.
Yeah, unable to get anything done, even with Faker teleporting in and Healer being there, no opportunity. Yeah, I think the plan is very simple. It's kill Guma. It's not easy.
Exactly. Concentrated gold there, Kobe.
Yeah.
Visualized exquisitely. Plus 2,000. Chasey forced to flash defensively once more. A Kennen running away with flash is nothing you ever want to see. But Zeus is the target. Nature's Grasp is rattling across the Mad Lions. Zeus still stays alive. That shield from the E is huge. All out will send Kazi packing. The feathers come back, but nobody is dead from T1. Nobody goes down. They get 2 kills and the Mad Lions are routed once more.
They threw everything onto Tank Karma. That's not the target.
And then Faker comes in, he Cassante ults Carzzy out of the fight too, so they don't have their main damage source there. T1, that was a really nice little split there. They turn it around on the Mad Lions. They use that engage against them and are able to get an extra one.
Beautiful, beautiful team fight once again from T1. They've got themselves 2 dragons, they've got 11 kills, they've got a significant lead, and right now they are outclassing Mad Lions in every skirmish with or without the advantages.
And you know what's super devastating about that fight? Yeah, T1 got an extra kill, right? Okay, well, we got Kennen. They also got the big flashes that Mad Lions are really relying on. Niski is going to have to now be the one because he has the flash on Lissandra, but Guma still has his flash, has his cleanse, and he's got his teammates.
And even if Guma is out of position, as long as he has flash and cleanse, you're basically always playing one fight behind, right? You need to force those summoners, which in of itself I think is a big task, but then you need to be able to then get away from the fight because if he flashes and cleanses, you're probably not going to be able to win it. And then find another one of those angles. So for Mad Lions, they really are against the wall, and I think it's going to require T1 leaving Guma alone or getting completely off guard by a Cannon, by a Rel, or by a Lissandra getting that backline access.
And I don't yet have confidence that Mad Lions can pull that off. We've seen 2 games already today where Chasey and Mad Lions have not necessarily been able to find those flanks, specifically on the Cannon. I think this game has kind of run away from them in terms of their ability to come back. So now it's, you're hoping for a mistake, you're hoping for a misstep. What we've seen from T1, what we expect from T1 in terms of their season, in terms of the last 2 years, the likelihood is incredibly low. So for Mad Lions now, calm themselves down. They have to try to find some sort of rhythm and momentum, because this is the team that's now potentially on the verge of match point, assuming they can't pull some miracle comeback.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, everybody who watched the previous game, Trevor, are in full agreement with you, because if the Mad Lions couldn't do it then, it's going to be a lot more difficult this time around, where they don't have this ginormous lead, and T1 are forcing summoners and ults out of them.
And that's basically a guaranteed soul point here for T1, right? Like, you're going to give a Hextech soul to an Aphelios because Carzzy had to use his cleanse, had to use his ultimate.
Because of a Nyan Cat, right? Now, yes, I understand that obviously on Carzzy's side, had Guma or Ona continued to apply pressure after the Nature's Grasp, then there was kill threat. However, they didn't. So he just saw the Nyan and needed to throw out the feathers and the cleanse. We're 30 seconds away from Dragon.
Whenever you say that,
3.
you have to do a little dance now.
Yeah, okay. The only problem is I think they're recording it. So it's like,
yeah, that's
we'll wait for the next ult where we can do it in unison, right? Right now.
No, I don't want to dance. Don't rope me into this.
T1 on the verge of a 2-0, Chronicler. You owe you owe London a dance. They definitely want to cheer that one.
Okay, don't put pressure on me. Come on.
Alyoria and Niski, backed up by Hilly. Faker will get rooted in place, locked down, all out. 3 members pushing forward. This isn't the highest damage trio. Niski gets knocked backwards from the 3rd Q. Carzzy's the target of Guma. Remember, no feathers. Remember, no cleanser may not matter. Carzzy escapes with his life, but Faker does not. And under the tower, Guma takes a lot of damage while all that's going on. Now Chase is in trouble, forced to use that slicing maelstrom. He's rooted in place thanks to that top Karma, trying to get the shurikens, trying to get the stuns. Under pressure as the middle lane is still being pushed by Guma, by Carrier. Algoria and Hilly arrive to the fray. Top lane continued to pressure as Mad Lions are looking at that inner top turret. While that's going on, the mid is still under pressure. This is cross-mapping all day long, Kobe.
Yeah, Guma's going right through the front door while all this action is going on the side lane. They actually finish the mid tower and then finish Carzzy.
Oh, look at that damage! Guma and Carrier knock on the front door, take down the inhibitor as well. Recall's being channeled here as Niski will finally get back. The bottom inhibitor turret is now the next focus. Faker has been able to TP in after being taken down. That gold lead is growing even larger. Before 20 minutes, the base is blown wide open. And just like G2 yesterday, Mad Lions today dropping game 2 in dominant fashion to the LCK opponents.
Paul, I like that you
reverse.
I like that you take control.
I got it backwards.
Yeah, you take ownership though. Dominant dropping of the game.
They choked
They
us.
threw that sucker on the ground.
I would never go to Quickster. You know me, but I'm glad you did.
Can I tell you, it is so fun to be casting with you guys again. I am having a blast despite the fact that T1 is smashing that.
They certainly threw that game 1 on the ground. And this one here, all right, Dragon number 3, as you mentioned, T1 going to collect what is theirs.
And yeah, Matt, I think you have to back off here. At this point, it's either a very deep teleport flank coming in from either Chasey or Niski when a bot lane inhibitor is being pushed. We've seen over the years, even in this tournament, a lot of bot lane inhibitors leading to death and destruction. Or it is going to require a stand at the Nexus turret as Faker.
Niski took the gate. We'll be able to escape. That Ring of Frost did a lot of work, but as I saw a member of Mad flying through that portal, Mad Lions starting group up. They feel the threat of a potential Baron. Remember, super minions into that middle lane. Not going to be the greatest. They're really setting up for Baron, but not only with the gold lead and with the pressure it's going to apply, it also will allow them to set up for the Soul, which is 4 minutes away. So T1 have just got a plethora of options on how they wish to taxi their way to the Nexus.
Yeah, I mean, their options are so plentiful that we literally just watched the last 2 minutes was Faker deciding to go 1v3 kind of int and just take up 3 people's time, and T1 came away with an inhibitor kill.
Hylissang is caught out. Magnet Storm is dropped and he's left to the Wolves, as it were. T1 get themselves an easy kill on the back of that Nature's Grasp. And now in a 5 versus 4, they peel back to Baron. Actually 5 versus 3, because Kazi's dealing with the supers.
The Maokai ult, the most disappointing way to get caught. The slow death coming towards you. All right, Elyoya, he's got the hopes. T1 stole a Baron last time around. Can Elyoya replicate?
3,000 hit points. Going low. Niski's coming as well. Chasey's coming as well. 2,500. Sonic Wave connects. Hold your breath. Ladies, gentlemen, everybody else. Polymorph going to be enough to interrupt, and the Baron is just beautifully secured. Chasey is dunked on before any Maelstrom can be channeled. A teleport to the inner top lane turret, and Zeus is there leading the charge for T1. It is just exquisite control.
And sometimes T1 Baron setups scare the fans to death. This time around, really cleanly done. Keep it at a safe health total. The carrier goes in with the heal, gets the polymorph, they burst it down, no steal option available.
Yeah, I think the honorable thing from T1 there would be to give it.
Yeah, that's
give it to
going to
him.
be fair.
Bad Lions flipped it for you. He'd give you a smite fight.
It would have been it, because I will say, as a fan of both League of Legends and Mad Lions, that Baron did not give me that same level of, oh, this is scary, as the game 1 did, where, of course, Ono was able to jump in. But look, this Red Bull Baron power play already at plus 3k. They already had supers in the middle lane that inhibit overview spawning in a minute and a half. The top lane has just been taken out, and at 22 minutes, with Baron, this gigantic gold lead, we're 2 minutes away from Soul, so my instinct is telling me, get the Soul, and then push for the final hits on the Nexus.
Might end up doing that. Considering it's T1, I wouldn't even be surprised if they just ran it with 5 people towards the mid lane and try to end the game before they end up taking the Dragon. The Dragon is kind of the be-all, end-all, right? Like, Hextech Soul provides so much utility, particularly when you have a pick like the Aphelios. And right now for Mad, I'm not seeing a lot of options here, unfortunately, as only one inhibitor, not even with a turret left standing.
Bear in mind, Guma and Keria have not died a single time this game. 7-0-3, 0-0-11. They have been the proactive team. They have been the ones starting the fight. Nearly, 80% kill participation. It has been about them. Protect the President has worked beautifully.
Gentlemen, whenever there is a draft run back, you have to decide which is the team that did the salty run back and who was just right. One team is salty. Oh, here we go. We get a chase in the Hextech.
Elyoya's been chased by Faker. Down the bottom lane, here comes Chasey from behind. Slicing Maelstrom can finally get some targets. Nature's Grasp will at least hold them in place. I don't think that Maelstrom's been out. Zeus is low, but where is Guma? So far untouched, so far undamaged, so far unkillable. T1 put together 3-4 quick kills and ace Mad Lions inside their base within Baron buff. T1 dominate game 2. And T1 are 1 win away from a rematch with Gen G in the upper bracket. What a 4. So with more volume than I was expecting. And who here thinks that T1 will close this series out right now? That's what I was hoping for, a little bit more volume here. I'm trying to lean into the local support, whether or not that 6th man can help Mad Lions out. Another game where the Mad Lions group up early, get both game 1 and game 2. They kind of pushed as 5. In game 2, they were able to find that first blood onto Ono. This time around, no target available for them. And I think we need to keep a close eye on how Kazi and Hylissang handle and deal with Guma and Keria. If Hilly is able to be unlocked, able to roam with that Annie, maybe combo with TF potentially. Maybe there's some of those tools as all of a sudden it's T1 that grouped up, looking for a little bit of a late invade here.
Yeah. Niski's in a little bit of danger.
Volkov primed. Tongue Lash connects. Rockets being fired. Flash traded for the Ignite, and underneath the tower, Niski loses more than half of his hit points.
Oh, the mid-jungle 2v2 that I was so excited for just got really, really difficult for Niski and Elyoya. No flash on the Twisted Blade, plus Elyoya's getting zoned out of his own jungle.
Oh, gets knocked backwards. Decimating Smash will force the flash as well. Niski and Elyoya. If that 2v2 was hard already, now it is near impossible. That's a lick onto Kazi. A rocket fired from Guma. Hilly and Kazi stepping back. They will get into lane, but both mid, jungle for Mad Lions have lost their flashes.
And this Sign strategy is something that T1 challengers actually pulled out as well, using the Sign early on as a pressure point to generate an advantage for your jungler. and making sure that Owner gets the early lead here.
Yeah, Zeus went in level 1 and warded the blue buff Gromp area, and then immediately recalled and walked all the way down mid lane to join T1 with the rest of their invade, and now you have 4 people ready and primed to dive bottom.
Oh, sapling toss. Gets the slow one to Kazi. Level 3 for Ona. Decimating smashes, sidestep, cleanse, flash. The shield comes up. Zeus is down. Bakuma's on the board. Got himself the kill. And Zombie Scion chases 2-1 to T1.
It's literally the same strategy, and it works just as well as it did there. T1 getting a death on a Scion. We all know that that one doesn't matter. Teleports back towards the top lane. And an early kill for Gumayushi again.
Yeah, death on Scion, that's good death, actually.
Yes.
They want that because of the DPS of your zombie. Intentional there. You go in, you start off the dive, you get your bottom lane so incredibly far ahead, it is disgusting. I know even in LEC you saw this as well, BDS doing same thing. And
very similar play. The bigger one for me is not only does the kill go to Yuma, he's also got himself a 2-wave lead already. And he comes back to lane with a double longswords into a cull. So it was already a difficult matchup. And now Jinx is accelerated so quickly at the 3.5 minute mark.
And Ezreal is one of the champions where if you can get a couple of great Qs in the early game, you can actually put the enemy bot laner behind, right? Get them trapped in a cycle of bad recalls, keep the pressure up, particularly if you're playing double ranged into the melee Kench. But with this play, that's not going to happen.
Niski has no flash, remember. Faker trying to get him further up in the lane to get Owner some distance there, but not going to be able to tank that wave for too long. Pretty stacked up. It's just so difficult for Mad Lions. The level 1 for T1 was outstanding. It took away the possibilities of the mid-jungle plays from Mad Lions, burning both of their flashes, zoning them out of the jungle, and took over the bottom lane. Like, that's basically all of the early game territory that you want to work with. You don't want to work with the tank matchup on top side. So T1, absolute stuff here, as Owner takes away second spawn of Raptors as well. Obviously, they've got the timer on that one, and he flash twists his advance to avoid the stun from Hilly.
Yeah, I really like this play from Hilly.
Kazi pretty good, stepping forward from the dive, managing to escape. Had he been knocked up, Flame Chomper's down, that would have been a death. So Kazi, this is something we will see a lot. Not only is he going to play defensively, in the 1v2 with Hylissang roaming, ideally Mad Lions want Annie to combo up with maybe Twisted Fate or one of the other lanes. Ona, as well as T1, have another plan, however. They've engaged, 3v2 for now. Guma's gonna arrive late to the party. Kazi's already running for his life with that arcane shift. He's ticking, he's burning, he's down. It's another 2 kills to T1 under the tower. And they're not done yet. This minion wave is significant. Aoya's trying to clear it out. Ona takes a turret shot, but he's fighting into a gigantic minion wave. And Aoya's running for his life, trying to sacrifice. I don't know, did he get tagged?
I think execute.
Cat execute ends up landing, so denies another, but that is a gigantic lead already for T1.
And it starts off okay, right? Because I actually like the play from Hilly to try and apply pressure. Because if you're an Ezreal with Call and Boots and you're going up against Doran's play double longsword Jinx, like you're not getting anything done in that lane. But then, unfortunately, Owner is able to get out fine. And then on the counter play, as they are able to get the wave, and even though Karst didn't die, it did take a decent amount of damage, it sets up the subsequent dive. And even with Aoya and Hilly there, they lose the 3v3, and now this bot lane again out of control.
I absolutely hate Scion level 1s. I mean, it's been used effectively, very, very effectively, but it is so game warping to even have that as an option. T1 just massively wiping Mad Lions early game, off of the map even. And with the repeat plays too, really good repeat plays kept up by T1. The revisit from Owner, continuing to play off the side of the map where they have all this pressure. They do, of course, sacrifice Zeus, and might have to sacrifice him again.
We're going to find out, but at what cost, right? Because while there's a 2v1 in the top lane, down in the bottom lane, this is turning into a 3v3. Destiny, Gate, Gold Card connects. Kazi's chasing Guma. He's got himself a bounty already. Niski needs a couple more autos. Guma escapes to the 100 HP. Kazi's focusing on Carrier. In the top lane, Zeus has managed to trade one back. Down in the bottom lane, though, Kazi and the rest of Mad are running for their lives. Niski's so incredibly low. Focus arriving. Spirit Rush is available. Spirit Rush, Foxfire, Orb, and Deception of Mad Lions get dominated.
Faker has arrived. Flash ulti into them. Hits the charm under tower as well. T1 unstoppable here. Yeah, Zeus.
Wow.
Okay.
Chef's kiss, that was beautiful.
No. They're not done, Trevor.
They're
Take a
not,
look.
they are. Mad Lions, sorry, correction. Mad Lions are done. Chronicler, that was beautiful from T1.
Okay, I want to propose a deal to you guys.
Okay, what's that?
You get a Fed Cassante.
Okay.
I get a Jinx with 3 kills, an Ari with 2 kills, and a Maokai that's monster fed.
I mean,
What do you say?
It's already been accepted.
Yes.
No, man.
Well,
Love
it's
to hear
definitely-
that.
It's definitely not the deal that I would have wanted to take, but look at that scoreboard. 206, 202, 302. Not only is there gold leads everywhere, it's concentrated, Kobe, in all the players you want. And even Sion, who was dove 2v1, still managed to pick up that kill and is on the same gold as Chasey. So that deal that you made, you lied, and the terms have not paid out.
Well, he's up in CS.
Ilisag forced a flash. And Nature's Grasp flies out. He's charmed, he's caught, he's taken down. 10 kills for T1 at 8 minutes, and London is turning into a library as T1 have arrived and they've started their campaign at MSI in phenomenal fashion.
All right, Faker gonna come and try and chase Niski off the turret plate. Turret plate acquired. There you go, Trevor. 4 Mad Lions.
Glass half full. I like it, Kobe.
170 gold.
Even London's like, bro, too much. Because there's 3 plates secured for Guma in the bottom lane. 25 CS up. The Dragon is being secured here. And for Mad Lions, they are in so much threat. Carrier roaming. Another charm connects. Niski gets a shield, and it's Guma sniping from downtown. Super mega death rocket, sending Niski back to the fountain. That gold lead accelerating even further. And it looked like that Rift Herald as well. While it was picked up by Alioya, this bottom tower is under threat. Pow being used to do so much work here for Gumayushi. What's that? 2,000 gold lead in the bottom lane alone at 9 minutes. And now Carrier, do you know, I reckon they could even dive again if they wanted to.
And absolutely, like at this point, T1 can do whatever they want on the map.
Well, right now, T1 are going to be defending this top lane. Rift Herald was dropped. Shelly's going to get that charge in just a moment, at least moving the plates gold over to Chasey. He's pulled backwards. I'm keeping an eye on the mini-map. Mid lane is pushed in. Niski's got that Destiny available. And the only way that I see Mad Lions being able to claw back this deficit, Twisted Fate plays need to be consistently and consecutively successful. For Mad Lions, this game is already nearly untenable. It is a Jinx that's approaching Mythic, like 10, 12 minutes in. And I think if, yes, some of those shutdowns can come in, that's a 500 gold shutdown, which is huge at this stage. Zeus running away from his life, unstoppable force, will be enough to get him out for now, and Hilly and Chasey cannot find that kill.
Yeah, Mad Lions continually trying to throw as much as they can up towards top side. They use the Rift Herald up there. They got the extra turret plates. Chasey does have his lead, but Owner actually walks over into him.
He does indeed. Destiny into the gate, the gold card, the decimating smash, Nature's Grasp, Ponga lined up, Mad
Faker's
Lions
coming.
avoided, but look,
Faker roam.
they cannot get onto Owner. Now, where is Faker? Sonic Wave connects from Alioya. Dragon's Rage is still up for him. Hilly's the next target. No mana, no flash, no chance. Tower has fallen in the bottom lane. T1. They continue to apply pressure. Charm comes out. Wait just yet. Kick back forward under the tower. No chase forward. The Lee Syndrome sends Alioya to the fountain. And Niski takes so much damage from that Orbit Deception. Carrier is cutting off the retreat. Hilly and Niski, 2 targets as the teleport now being channeled. Chasey's coming in with that Frozen Fist, and T1, they fancy not enough just yet, backing out for now. But again, they are the ones that are dictating the pace of this game.
Even when they get the angle onto Faker, kicking him under tower, Owner is there on the Maokai, cues him, interrupts the Lee Sin, sends him back to the fountain, and T1, not only do they get that kill, but they're able to reset here, push out on mid lane as well, with 3 members looking for Chasey, no ultimate on the Cassante.
Well, let's see what happens here. Devoured and spat back out, rooted into place, knocked backwards, and that, honestly, it's just beautiful. It's just great to watch. Kraken Slayer, 6 kills, gigantic lead, and Guma is already at like late game Jinx status.
Yeah, all that the carry has to do there is all Faker.
All right, let's find out what happens. Yeah, Charm is sidestepped. Gold card connects. Faker just about taken down. It's the moral victory for the Mad Lions.
It is a shutdown there for Carzzy, so Ezreal gets some money back into it, but the whole time Guma's just eating up here on these turret plates. The Cassante was
almost 3k gold.
So Guma got all 5 plates in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
About to get, 3-4 plates in the top lane. I don't know how many individually he's collected, right? I'd love to know if our observers or stats team could maybe give us some info on that one, because Guma is just flying ahead. Multiple members of Mad Lions trying to get him. Now that is a big shutdown, 650 gold. The 4,500 lead that they have, that will be helpful for Mad Lions, but they really need to try to catch him unawares, and right now that hasn't been the case.
What I think is really hard for Mad is like picks like they got there on Faker, that's what they need to do, right? As you were pointing out,
Yes.
you need to try and leverage the TF and the value that it provides to make these plays around the map. But T1 have either been shoving in and having full control of the map, having full control of vision, and thus being very acutely aware of where Mad is. But also, if it is ever anything less than like a 4 versus 1, whoever is in there could probably stall until the rest of T1 arrive.
Yeah, with the setups for team comps in this game, Mad Lions have to play the map. The T1 have such a big advantage in those 5-on-5, so the dragon that's about to come up, I should see it sacrificed by Mad Lions.
Mega Death Rocket this time, not going to be able to work it out. But Guma's got a couple more plates in front of him, swaps over to Pow Pow. Hylissang looking for the stun, connects it onto Faker. Gold card after the second Spirit Rush. Sonic Wave has connected. Dragon's Ridge not available just yet. And under the tower, Faker still gets one back. But any gold for Mad Lions is good gold. Chasey, while he's being chased by Ona, don't think it will matter. Guma just, by the way, taking another tower. That's the guy you've got to kill, Mad Lions. Yes, killing Faker looks and feels good, but that 700 gold bounty is the one they have to find a way to unlock.
And the thing is, they kind of had to go top lane, so it's like whoever's there is who we have to go for, because we can't fight this dragon. We can't fight the 5-on-5, so we have to go for those picks, extend the map, try and play as much range as we possibly can. That's why T1, keeping Guma in mid lane. He's safe. They get their tower there. They know it. The money's rolling in. The dragon's rolling in as well.
And even with that, right? Even with Faker missing a charm, they still trade 1 for 1. So what you end up getting just isn't enough, but Mad is in such a tough position because if you do actually try to fight with the disadvantage that you're in, like, it's just not going to work. So all you can do is try to find picks. When you find the picks, they don't really work out because of how far behind you are, but you got to try.
Listen, there's 4 out of 4 players are even in gold. Unfortunately, the 4,000 gold lead is all in Guma Yushi's back pocket. There's more than an Infinity Edge. And that is exactly where T1 wanted it. I will say, by the way, I just want to give huge props here to Guma and Keria, because throughout the series, Guma's stats were 18 kills, 7 deaths, and 15 assists combined for game 1 and 2. And he's already at 602. But Keria, 1, 2, and 37 for the 2 previous games. Add 8 additional assists, 45 damn assists in 3 games. It is fantastic performance from the bottom lane, which has been the tip of the spear, which the comps have been built around, and they are the players that are unlocking these wins for T1.
Exactly. The comps and the level 1, I put so much emphasis on the advantage that T1 gains. T1 gains so much with that invade, completely splitting the map, and having the repeat dive ganks from not only Owner, but as well Faker going down there. They just hand-fed Guma Yushi this game. Yeah,
and I mean, like, you've already pulled that one meme out, the deal, you get, I get. The other one I'm thinking is that Scion. It all started with that damn Scion. Another tower falls. The engage from Ona onto Niski, and the Mega Death Rocket won't connect this time, but I don't think it matters. Guma turns to Fishbones and picks up his lucky number 7. Keria goes forward with a dive, forced to flash defensively. True Shot Barrage has been fired and Hilly is being shot down. Faker goes over the wall. The charm won't find it. 16 minutes and the base has been broken open. LCK's top seeds have destroyed LEC's top seeds. And how much more can they get? Carzzy is going low. He's taken out. Mad Lions cannot defend their base. At 16 and a half minutes, the Nexus turrets are being destroyed. The Nexus could be focused. It's up to Chasey to defend it. Have T1 seriously won a game in 17 minutes? I have never seen a more dominant win from a second seed taking down LEC.